So, we just got some brand new gameplay snippets for Black Flag Resynced, and yeah, nothing too crazy, but very interesting. There's a few things here that kind of caught my eye, so I thought let's just talk about it. I think what's quite interesting that it's only around 4 minutes long, and it kind of just focuses on elements of like combat, parkour and stealth, but it's not a full deep dive. Apparently we're going to be getting that later on in May, but I feel like what it's done here is kind of just shown enough to kind of answer a few questions that we had, or kind of confirm some stuff that was lingering on our mind. And I think in another case it's also maybe answered a few maybe concerns that people had. Like I said, not everything. There's still sort of questions that we have going into the whole sort of like combat, parkour and stealth, right? Which, like I said, we'll be getting later on in May. But yeah, I feel like this did a really good job. But the beginning of it literally showcases a fan favourite feature, which literally should be a staple in every single Assassin's Creed game, because it was for the first 70% of this series, but it's just been non-existent. And yes, I'm talking about social stealth, seamless social stealth. I mean, that's what it looks like, as we see Edward sitting on a bench. I know, it's groundbreaking, right? But as the hidden one mentioned in these videos, so shout out to him, I really hope it is seamless, and I hope it's not what Valhalla did with that button we have to press, because that would be so immersion breaking. It's so slow. It doesn't look like it. It looks like literally it's kind of contextual as well. So we automatically go into the sort of animation, just like how it is when you walk between like 3 or 4 people and you blend in, which also looks so much more better as well. As you see, Edward always put the hood up. I wonder if that's also part of the animation. If it is, I like that. I like that he instantly puts his hood up when he's really getting into social stealth. That's really cool, right? And we also see the dancers that we can hire, which is obviously back from the OG. That was always going to be there. I don't know why people thought that wasn't going to be in there. It was a bit strange, but yeah, like it's things like this which should be kind of mandatory, which maybe kind of little in the grand scheme of things. It just brings a smile to my face, and I have no doubt it brings a smile to a lot of Assassin's Creed fans, right? It's just like seeing this again for like the first time since the original Black Flag. Let's be completely honest, right? I mean, maybe Unity, right? It's just great. And to be honest, a lot of this sort of like little gameplay snippets kind of just show a lot of stuff that I want to see, and they still haven't gone fully all out yet. Like I said, we're going to be getting something later on in May, so it's really great. But yeah, in the different clips we kind of see elements of stealth when it comes to the eagle vision, right? It's literally kind of similar to how it was in Shadows, but also elements to how it was in the original Black Flag. This is great. I can't remember the last time where we actually had normal eagle vision. Yet again, it feels like the original Black Flag. Like a lot of this just feels like we're getting it all again for the first time since the OG Black Flag, so it's kind of crazy. But there's something very interesting actually in one of these clips where it shows Edward kind of like scouting out or looking over. As you see, right, before he climbs up this building, you see a little gap, right, in the building. Now, for all of you OGs who know about AC3 and AC4, remember them sort of little parkour running animations where you could go through the building and it would kind of put you in an animation and you go from one side to the other? That was in Black Flag as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was in Black Flag. Well, this looks like that, but I wonder if it's actually going to be completely seamless, so when you jump into the building, it's not going to cause this sort of running animation to the next side. It's just going to be, we can go in it and walk. Because remember, it was only until Unity and Syndicate where basically you could go in any sort of building. But before that, Assassin's Creed wasn't really like that unless it was tied to certain main missions or side missions, right? So I thought that was very interesting. I don't really think anyone's caught on to that, unless I'm just bugging out. And that's just some, I don't know what that is. I don't know. But yeah, no, I thought that was very interesting. And yeah, again, like I said, a lot of this is just very interesting, especially when it comes to certain elements of the combat. See, one thing I find a little bit, I don't know what the word is, right? Maybe a bit strange again, is that it all looks good. I love the dodging. I love the obviously sort of like perfect parry timing. It does look a bit more harder than Black Flag, but that pistol that Edward uses, that quick shot, I don't know if there's a cooldown on it. It looks like there is, but it doesn't look like it's that much. Because I feel like this is going to be very OP, that you can just keep spamming the pistol, and no doubt you're probably going to gather materials or gain certain skills or whatever it is, right, where you can probably make it where you can use that more often. I really hope not, because it really seems like it just takes a massive chunk out of the enemy's health bar to the point where it puts them in that sort of dizzy state where you can instantly just assassinate them or instantly like finish them off with a cool little finishing move. So I hope that's not as powerful as it looks, because it seems like you could just abuse that. Now I know they said that the enemies do adapt. Yes, they've said it in the article. The enemies will adapt to how you play and fight, which is really cool. I just wonder if they really are going to adapt properly, or is it going to be a bit of a broken system? Hopefully not, but no doubt people are still going to find ways to sort of spam certain aspects of the combat. I mean, it's Assassin's Creed. I mean, it's any game with a sort of like combat mechanic. You always find a certain ability or certain moveset, right? It's the way it is. But I hope that pistol, that quick shot pistol, isn't one. If that's the case, I probably won't use it as much, just so it feels a bit more, you know, engaging, a bit more tense, a bit more harder. But we'll see though, right? And here's my favourite feature from this little gameplay snippet. Something that we've all been wondering, and I feel like this is very obvious, but yes, you can toggle hood on and off. But shall I tell you what I really love about this, right? I just bashed my mic as I said that. But seamless toggle hood on and off, because shall I tell you something that I was very wary of, because I knew we would have it in the game, but I thought, it's going to be, you have to go into the menu, click yes to put it on, come out the menu, and then you've got it, and then when you want to take it off, yet again, rinse and repeat. And it's so immersion breaking. But thank the lords, thank the pirate gods that, yeah, you just click up on the D-pad and it goes on and off. And it, like I said earlier, I think it automatically goes on as well when you go into social stealth. But obviously in certain parts of the story, Edward's going to naturally have it on anyway, right? And obviously in certain cutscenes, he's going to have it on and off. But this is great, right? Because I think the Black Flag outfit and the hood is one of the coolest. I loved it. But I wasn't always the biggest fan that you could only put it on, right? When you're in restricted areas. But now you can put it on whenever. It's just going to be so cool. It just gives you more of that sort of assassin fantasy, right? But yeah, and this is the thing, right? All these sort of little features were stuff that existed in the first 6 or 7 games. And they've just been gone in the last 4 or 5. So I know it's crazy to kind of give them a real big sort of W for the features that should already be in it. But because it's been so long, right? Like, I don't know, I just get this sort of like nostalgic feeling. It just feels great. Like, it feels like Assassin's Creed again. I cannot remember the last time since I felt like this, right? Literally, probably since Origins. I know that's going to sound crazy because we knew that was going to be an RPG, but I was very hyped for Origins. I was like, oh, this should be quite interesting, because I think Origins actually nailed how far they should have went in the RPG formula, where they still kept an element of how the OG Assassin's Creed operates with its story. Very motion captured heavy, right? Very story focused to a degree, not full on RPG with dialogue choices and all these weird janky camera angles. I know Origins had a few like that, but no dialogue choices, right? But now we've gone full blown out. We've just lost a lot of the identity. And this is why people may disagree, because I was one of these when Black Flag first got sort of announced, or there was whispers and rumblings going on in the last few years about a remake. I was like, seriously? Black Flag? But as time has gone on, I actually think Black Flag, especially if it's done right, which so far, from what we've seen, everything looks to be going in the right direction, apart from no Hidden Blade combat. But it literally feels like the perfect game to remake, apart from the first Assassin's Creed game, to a degree, which a lot of people would probably say. But I think Black Flag, even in terms of its settings, and obviously some of the gameplay stuff and additions you can do, especially with like the weather dynamics and all that, like, it just fits perfectly. And so far, yet again, everything is looking great with this game. As much as people may not like Ubisoft or they want to hate on them, you cannot deny so far everything that we've seen from Black Flag Resynced does not look good. Hopefully it keeps continuing. As we all know, we've got a deep dive coming later on in the month, and I'll be covering that. But yeah, no, everything looks great. But let me know, what did you think about this sort of short 3.5, 4 minute sort of like gameplay, sort of like demo, or whatever you want to call it, right? There's some really interesting stuff. Like I said, stuff that used to be in the old Assassin's Creed games that should already be there. But how does it feel seeing it again? You know, like, it really feels like, you know, like we're back to being an assassin again. Oh yeah, one more thing. We can dive underwater anywhere. Yay! Okay, see ya.